powerful. He's so vicious. Like his one-punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground, and his uppercuts, they're just devastating.
When Gervonta Tank Davis walked into the press area before his match with Jake Paul, it was clear that he had undergone a physical transformation. Joe Rogan, a seasoned observer of top athletes, couldn't hide his surprise at Tank's newly bulked up appearance. Davis's frame appeared more muscular and defined than what fans were used to, catching Rogan off guard. This wasn't just the usual display of fitness, it was a clear sign that Davis had been working hard to take his game to the next level.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy is so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and his patience.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me because Leo Santa Cruz is a technician, Mexican style, and the fight was very close before Tank stopped him. But he has that power that can end it.
He finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient. Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds. But he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
During the stare down before the fight, Tank Davis didn't make any grand gestures or flex his muscles. Instead, he maintained a relaxed stance, almost downplaying his size. Whether intentional or not, his body language seemed to mask his physical changes. Yet no matter how much he tried to hide it, the difference in size was still very noticeable. It was a subtle move that spoke volumes, with Davis trying to avoid drawing too much attention to how much he had bulked up. Joe Rogan weighed in on Jake Paul's boxing career, pointing out that much of Paul's success revolves around promotion, not competition. Rogan suggested that these types of fights are designed more for spectacle than sport, tapping into casual viewers and creating headlines rather than showcasing true sporting merit. Paul, according to Rogan, has mastered the art of keeping his name in the spotlight, turning boxing into a platform for personal promotion.
That was Jake Paul promoting it. You know, it's just like, doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like
if I bet on it,
watching
it bothers
it
the
is
fuck out
hard.
of me.
Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also man, the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia, so it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet your friends. Like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird
They're just trying to draw you in.
thing.
They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to draw you in anyway.
The fight between Jake Paul and Tank Davis has generated a lot of buzz due to their size difference. Davis typically fights at 135 pounds, while Jake Paul has fought closer to the cruiserweight limit in previous matches. The catch weight for this fight is set at 195 pounds, which surprised many and added a layer of intrigue. It's clear that the weight discrepancy is a key factor in this matchup, with many fans questioning how Davis will perform against a much larger opponent.
We were yelling so much about him fighting someone, fight somebody your size. His next opponent is by far the most credentialed guy ever fought actively in his prime. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. He fights at 135.
The fight is being treated as a special exhibition, and the rules are anything but standard. One of the biggest adjustments is the use of 12-ounce gloves, which are heavier than what Davis is accustomed to wearing. This change has added another layer of complexity to the fight, with Davis's camp expressing concerns about the impact of the heavier gloves on their fighters' performance.
The Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. Instead it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Also, Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach. Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake. Exhibition though, can he win? Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges. So he can actually still win and knock him out. But here's the trick. It's body punches only. And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall? At Jake Paul's belly. Oof. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved. But Jake Paul for the win.
Calvin Ford, Tank's trainer, has expressed concern about the rule changes, particularly the decision to use heavier gloves. While he understands the rationale behind the change, he's cautious about how the added weight will affect Tank's performance. Ford pointed out that Tank is used to fighting in smaller gloves, and this adjustment could impact how Tank approaches the fight.
My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mismatch. It's supposed to be an expedition. What, you know, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank don't really care, you know? So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So again, you know, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight.
Teddy Atlas had some strong words regarding the size difference between Jake Paul and Tank Davis, claiming that Tank would need a ladder just to reach Jake's chin. While acknowledging the differences in skill and style between the two, Atlas emphasized that the size gap in this fight is just too large to ignore. For Atlas, it's not just about skill, it's about physical attributes too. And in this case, the size difference could be a decisive factor.
Right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff, particulars should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, okay, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, you know, Jake might be doing a dance. You know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but you know, a little different. The size difference was, I mean, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping, and it made me think. And I'm gonna ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm gonna ask him because I know he's an expert in this area. But it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face, where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, AKA Thunder Lips. He was Thunder Lips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me.
Teddy Atlas compared the size gap between Jake Paul and Tank Davis to the situation when Canelo Alvarez moved up to fight Terrence Crawford. However, Atlas pointed out that Crawford wasn't as physically outmatched as Davis is in this situation. The size difference between Jake and Tank is stark, making it seem like a mismatch from the start. The size gap isn't just an issue for fans, it raises serious questions about fairness and safety in the sport.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a...
Dana White expressed his concerns about the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis fight, accusing Paul of cherry-picking opponents. He pointed out that Jake Paul should be fighting someone closer to his own size, as the massive weight discrepancy makes the match unfair. White even compared Tank's punching power to that of Floyd Mayweather, stressing that Tank hits harder but is too small to match Jake Paul physically.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power. So much confidence in his power.
You know, he just, in his mind, he know it's a matter of time before I catch you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Tank, you know, these fighters. You got to be aware 15 rounds. I know you're going 12, but you got to think you're going 3 more, because one slip, one mistake, and it's over.
Yeah.
You know, so hats off to Tank. You know, he's a great, talented fighter. But again, he haven't faced the top elite fighters in his division.
Right.
You know, so we want to see Tank against, you know, somebody his size, you know, at the elite level.
Yeah.
And I believe he'll do good, because, you know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
Joe Rogan has consistently shown his respect for Tank Davis, particularly after his dominant win against Rolando Romero. Rogan praised Davis for his ability to produce knockout punches with style and confidence. After Davis's fight against Ryan Garcia, Rogan couldn't help but admire his quiet but terrifying presence in the ring. Despite starting slow, Davis's ability to hurt his opponents is always there, and his unassuming nature only makes him more dangerous.
Like the Ryan Garcia one, where Gervonta Davis caught him with that left hook to the body. People are saying that he quit.
No.
He never been hit in the liver. Oscar De La Hoya quit the same way with Bernard Hopkins.
With the same thing.
Same body shot.
Same
left
body shot. And he tried to come, and he tried to take a step out that corner and not the front of his foot even moved. He just went down. He's like, man, this is it.
And if you get kicked to the body.
Oh
my God. A kick to the body is so goddamn devastating, especially a spinning back kick. You could literally pick someone up in the air. It's like they get hit by a car.
Any kick.
Yeah.
To that.
It's really something to see a kid who has nothing, born into extreme poverty, become a world champion. Like Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
It's an inspiring story.
It is, and it's great for everyone because it gives you fuel. Like for a person who's coming up in life, even if you're not a fighter, you see what someone's gone through and you see the success that that hard work has created.
Right.
And it can be a road.
That wraps up today's. Don't forget to like the video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more coverage of the biggest stories in boxing. Until next time.